Welcome everyone. The large business part, investigating large business of the business year 10 first term paper. So here we can see the large business paper. IKEA, the case study. IKEA is a Swedish found multinational group that designs and sells ready-to-assembly kitchen appliances and kitchen appliances and home accessories, among other useful goods and home services. It has been the world's largest furniture retailer since at least 2008. It was founded in Sweden in 1943 by the 17-year-old Ingvar Kamprad. That's why INK came with that his name, Ingvar Kamprad. And then as of uh, November 2017, IKEA owns and operates 415 stores in 49 countries and employ 149,000 workers globally. You can see this is a good application in this case study. As I'm telling always, you can highlight the main important sectors like numbers, years, names of the people like that. So especially when you're highlighting, you can highlight their products that they're producing, furniture, kitchen appliance, home accessories. Highlight those things. You can use that names in the later on in application. And also, you can highlight the founder year, Sweden, the owner entrepreneur's name, Ingvar Kamprad, and also you can highlight the year of the established, and then they own and operate how many stores? 415 stores. They operate in 49 countries. Definitely, this is the multinational company because multinational company is a business which operate more than 2 countries. They have 415 stores, 49 countries, and 149,000 workers globally. The number of employees. This thing you can highlight, like underline or highlight when you're doing a paper in the examination. So then let's go to the other questions. This also have a 20-mark question from this. I can see question number 3. Which of the following is a benefit to a nation that hosts multinationals such as IKEA? So benefit to a nation or benefit to economy of hosting multinationals such as IKEA. First one, high tax revenue. Second one, high interest rates. Third one, low levels of government spending. Fourth one, less competition. For economy wise, you can say it can't be less competition. It can't be low levels of government spending. It can't be the higher interest rates. The answer is number 1, high tax revenue, because the multinational company, they are paying tax to the government. So therefore, by hosting multinationals, the benefits to a nation is the government can earn a tax revenue. More than that, you can see tax revenue, the job opportunities, and transfer of technology from high income countries to low income countries, as enterprise development, and so many other advantages are there from multinationals, like increased standard of living, more opportunities, like that. But even disadvantages are there, like mainly multinationals, we talk about the environmental pollution, exploitation of labor, threat for the local infant businesses, like that, so many, and transfer, repatriation of profit back to the mother country, and then they not only that, they actually sometimes manipulation of the paying low tax to the government. Even though the high tax revenue, sometimes some government multinational companies, they are cheating on their profits, so they are actually reducing using transfer pricing mechanisms to reduce the tax payment to the government. Okay. Second question, MCQ. Which of the following might be used by IKEA to help measure the customer satisfaction? When measuring customer satisfaction, you're using online survey always, not other things. Customer satisfaction measured by the online survey. We can find out customer feedback, whether they are happy or not with the product. Third one, which of the following is most likely to cause a cash flow problem for IKEA? So most likely to cause cash flow problem is number 1, spending too much on expensive fixed asset. Cash will go run out as a result of that. Question number 1, 3 part. See, define the term multinational companies. Define the term multinational companies. So here, multinational company definition, you can say the business organization who owns and operates more than 2 countries. You can see that's multinational companies. So multinational companies must be, the term is this own and operate in more than 2 countries. So normally multinational company, you can see is a business organization which operate and they are manufacturing and selling locations more than 2 countries. Example also, if you want, you can mention such as Unilever, IKEA. No need of application here, but we can use the multinational's basic definition, the business which operate more than 2 countries, business which operate their manufacturing and merchandise selling things in more than 2 countries. Example, Unilever, Toyota, Coca-Cola, like that you can say. Part C, asking state 1, internal stakeholder of IKEA. So it is the it's a furniture manufacturing company. State 1 internal stakeholder. You can say there are so many. You can't say the generic word because state question standard normally coming AO2. You have to say then the owner of the IKEA, let's say Ingvar Kamprad. Or then you can see, you can't just say employees, you can say employee of the IKEA such as carpenters, shop managers, store managers, so drivers in the showroom. Sometimes you can something related to IKEA showroom, can say IKEA factory, IKEA factory workers, IKEA cashier, IKEA stock controller, storekeeper, right? IKEA production supervisors, IKEA carpenters, like that. So you have to mention something related to furniture business. If you just mention employee, managers, customers, something like the generic word, then we are not giving that 1 mark. So very, very careful. You're asking like a state question, always give something related to case study, right? So, and the name of the business is not clear regarding as the application, because in the question also they have mentioned IKEA. So you can't say IKEA employees, IKEA managers, wrong. Huh? You can say manager of the IKEA, then you can say at least showroom, manager of the factory, manager of the IKEA showroom, like furniture factory, like that. You have to mention something more than the IKEA. Always a business name we can't recognize as a application. Okay, part D. Asking another state question, explain question. State one financial objective that IKEA is likely to set. One financial objective. In the financial objectives, we talk about mainly survival is one financial objective. Increasing market share is one financial objective. Increasing customer profit maximization is a financial objective. These are the main financial objectives. But this one also have to link to the case study. Here say, can say increase the number of branches. We can say this is an application here. Increase the number of branches from 415 stores to 416 stores, or 420. 400, increase the number of stores to 415 to 420. It's another financial objective to increase the market share. You can see they want to increase the number of, for example, operate countries from 49 countries to 50 countries. So that's an increase in kind of a market share. You can see like that. Use the numbers, or you can say increase the number of profit they earn from the IKEA. Like that, you can say one financial objective means survival, market share, profit maximization. It's related to the IKEA business, right? So that's the way you have to write like that. You can say profit maximization, increase the amount of profit earned from 49 countries, increase the market share by expanding into another economic territory such as China, expanding to India. IKEA for sure. Like that, you can state some application-based answer for 1 mark. 2 mark outline question is there. Outline one importance of limited liability for IKEA. Limited liability concept. Since a multinational company, limited liability concept is there, and then you have to find out what is the other one. Outline one importance of limited liability. You can say limited liability is important because then IKEA shareholders and including Ingvar Kamprad, they will not lose anything other than their personal investment. In case of business bankrupt, IKEA bankrupt, the investors of IKEA, including Ingvar Kamprad, not losing the personal assets other than the invested capital. Therefore, having limited liability always encourage the IKEA shareholders to actually invest more in the business and keep on going with the business, because so many advantages are there. So limited liability advantages is mainly it provides some safety for the shareholders to the protection of the legal rights, right? They can protect their legal right, their personal belongings can be protected because of that. You can say like that. One outline question, state one question, right? Normally 1 mark for the point importance and 1 mark for the application, right? For example, important limited liability, you can say 1 mark for the point is provide the safety for the IKEA shareholders' personal belongings in case of IKEA bankrupt, right? Therefore, chairman like Ingvar Kamprad will not losing his personal belonging in case of IKEA showroom collapse. So IKEA one business bankrupt. Like that, you have to give some kind of always the IKEA, like not only the IKEA word, you can say their showroom, their furniture shop. If something furniture industry bankrupt or furniture industry collapse, the shareholders, including Ingvar Kamprad, did not losing any personal belonging. His properties will not going to be lose in case of a IKEA, the furniture shop bankruptcy. Like that, you have to say like that without saying the just generic word. You have to always apply. So always think about the business studies. Application is the number 1. Always you have to link your answer to the case study. That's why we are always training you in this level. Now, in going to advanced level classes, you might get like a big question like 8-mark question, 10-mark question, 20-mark questions, 12-mark question. These things, proper application is important in those case study materials, right? Now, explain question. We don't need application. You have one only. One reason. Explain one reason why employee satisfaction is important for the success of the business. Right? Explain one reason why employee satisfaction is important. Normally, if you have satisfied employed, they will work more effectively. Satisfied employees will work more productively, more happily. Therefore, less wastage, and there will be less resources will be wastage will be happen as a result of that. Productivity output will increase, and which increase to maximize the leads to increase the profitability. Like that, give like a 3-sentence interrelated. If you have happy workers, satisfied workers, they will be work hard and they will be reduce the wastage from them. Therefore, this increase the labor productivity leads by more profits also. Like that, you can talk about always leads to therefore, because leads to therefore. BLT model you can use. You can explain this one. If you have satisfied workers, they will be more delighted. They will work with more happiness. With more happiness, they can produce more items. As a result of that, more productivity will increase. Therefore, they can increase the revenue. They will increase leads to increase the profitability of the business organization. So I have never mentioned about IKEA and therefore, because AO1 only we are checking in application is not needed for explain question. Part F. G is another explain question. Explain one possible reason for the rapid growth in the service sector business in developed countries. Explain one possible reason for the rapid growth in the service sector business developed in developed countries. Service sector why developed? Because most of the countries the rapid growth in service sector happen because of people's income changes. People income increases as a result of that. They spend more money on the leisure, air traveling, and more service sectors like restaurants and everything. As a result of that, people behaviors and preferences, changes in taste and preferences are there for the service sector. And as a result of that, more people would engage in the service sector business activities. Therefore, especially in developed countries, the service sector business have high growth rate than the primary and secondary sector. You can explain like that. Right? The one reason behind this is why service sector develop in developed countries, especially because incomes and they have changes in income and other preferences. So standard of living increase. They want to spend more money on entertainment, air traveling, holidays, restaurants, cinema, like these services. Therefore, the demand for these things increases. So in developed countries, service sector business develop as a result of that. Okay, so part H, analyze one benefit and one drawback of IKEA being a multi. This is here to find out from the mainly one benefit to the company and one drawback to the company of being a multi. Normally, multinational companies talk about this in our theories. There are cost and benefits to the company and cost and benefits to the country's host. This is asking this question from the company's point of view. For the company's point of view, you can say IKEA, by doing a business, they can increase their market share and reputation of the business because operating in more than 49 countries, right? 115 companies. So as a result of that, business would be able to gain more money, more revenue by selling their products. Products mean they selling their furniture products in different countries. Another thing you can say, they can exploit like more economies of scale, like cost benefits, right? By operating in different countries like China, India, Vietnam, Europe, and Sweden, UK, USA, they can actually find out sometimes the increase their market share. They can increase the like number of customers. Like so 415 stores mean, they can increase the number of customers who visit into their shops. Therefore, they can increase their sales revenue. Therefore, IKEA will be able to earn more profit. Therefore, they will be more successful. However, you can say drawback of being a multinational, this could be dangerous for IKEA sometimes. Some countries, multinational sometimes is high cost to support. Some countries will be sometimes not very fragile countries are there. Some economically unstable countries, some multinational countries. These countries sometimes they're not welcoming multinational firms. So being a multinational firm sometimes will be disadvantaged by there will be some kind of difficulties of high cost is to there to when you're going to open up another stores, another factory somewhere. It will be very costly for the organization. Very costly for the organization. Yes, sometimes you can say about tax barriers. You are correct. Yes, tax barriers also you can say, like organizations by being a multinational, some countries, some regions, they are putting some kind of restrictions against the multinational firms. Therefore, you can argue that, however, being a multinational, IKEA will be facing some kind of challenges. Sometimes, example, China will be not allowing them to enter into the country because, or India will be not allowing them to enter because of the regional problems, sometimes tax problems, tax barriers, huge tax they have to pay, and so many trade barriers are there like that. So, being a multinational company, some countries, they are not welcome multinational firms because of some problems. Therefore, being a multinational, sometimes there are some barriers to their some multinational organizations. We can say like that. So 6 mark question, keep in mind, right? 2 points and 2 application points and analysis points in 2 separate paragraphs, right? You can say firstly, and you can say BLD point, and then secondly, or however point. You're asking 1 benefit, 1 drawback. Sometimes question asking 2 benefits. Some question asking 2 drawbacks, and last question can come in different forms. So, but always we need 2 points, 2 application points and 2 analysis point for analyze question. That's the end of question number 3, 20-mark question. So we're going to the last question of this paper, fourth one. Define the term repatriation of profit. Yeah, the repatriation of profit happens when the multinational country send the profit earned from the host country back to their parent, from host country to guest country, where they're coming from, the host country to the head office. Then the multinational company send the profit from the host country to their head office, the headquarters, so we call the guest country, right? Where they come from, the mother company. So that's called the repatriation of profit. The repatriation happen where always, for example, you can give India, for example, the Coca-Cola factory, the money earns in Sri Lanka, they send it to the America, USA, we call it's repatriation. So repatriation means always sending the profit back to the host country that the company comes from, right? Back to the multinational parent company. That's called the repatriation of profit. So repatriation of profit is a disadvantage for the host nations economies because the money you can't keep in the country's development, because that's why multinationals coming. It's like a profit center. They earn some money from the country and then they repatriate that profit back to their parent company. So that's a multinational business, and now they're paying tax revenue. For example, talk about the example Nestle sending for $2.5 billion, 2.5 billion Sri Lankan rupees every year, average about 2 billion rupees. That's about 15 million US dollars. They are sending every year to their company in Switzerland, but they are paying more than that. They are paying 30 million US dollar government tax always, but they're paying 2 billion profit. They're repatriating, but 4.5 billion tax they are paying annually. Average about 30 million US dollars. They are paying to the government as a tax. Therefore, that's the main advantage. You can see that always the repatriation is a disadvantage for a country. But definition he asked in order to actually explain here, definition of repatriation means where the multinational take the profit from the host country to their original country, where they came from, where we call the host country to guest country, right? So normally it's a host country to the parent company. Okay, part B, outline one possible reason that might be lead to business failure. Business failure part, actually, I told you we are going to do that in after the examination, but this past paper has this question, business failure. You can see there are certain reasons are there business failure. You can say lack of finance or lack of business caliber of the organization owner, sometimes the overspending on too much of fixed asset like that. You can say one question and then you can explain with the application of IKEA. So in this case, IKEA, one possible reason, that one cause that can be caused to business failure, you can say IKEA investment too much in fixed assets such as land, building, motor vehicle, factories, premises, and everything. As a result of that, they will run out of cash. As a result, business can collapse because of the financial burden like that. So that can be reasons. Okay, this is a small calculation questions also they have checked this time. This past paper, 2018 paper. This is part C. In 2016, IKEA revenue was 36,000 million, and 5 years before, in 2011, it was only 30,000 million. Calculate the percentage increase in revenue over the time period. So if you have this kind of a question, like if you have a like in sales growth, expense growth, something like whatever. If you want to find out the difference between two figures, there's a formula we call final minus initial over initial into 100. So final figure minus initial figure over initial figure into 100. So therefore answer is 36,000. So I'll show you that mark this one calculation. You can say this one, the 36,000 minus 30,000 final minus initial, right? And divide by initial 30,000 and into 100, right? If you so 36,000 minus 30,000 is 6,000. 6,000 divided by 30,000 into 100, the answer comes 20%, right? So you can see the answer 20% with the percentage sign. You do this calculation, final minus initial over initial into 100, right? Easy calculation. Final minus initial, right? Over initial into 100. So that's the calculation for that. 20 mark calculations also 20%. So say the correct answer 20%, you will get the 2 marks. So always calculations questions also can become instead of outline questions, calculations questions also possible, right? Part D, explain why going public is an expensive for a business. This is the no application need question. Going public is expensive because there are certain reasons. You can say one reason and explain your answer. In explain question, don't mention more than 1 point. Stick to 1 point and explain using other development points. You can see the going public is expensive. You can see the main reason, like you see there is a prospectus when you're going public or flotation process. We call it going public. Mean the meaning of going public means you are going to PLC, private limited company. First time they issue share to the share market. That's called the process of going public. So it is expensive process. Why? Because the organization they have to issue some kind of some documents to the public, especially prospectus document, which invites the shareholders to buy their shares. So it is prepared by the lawyers of the company. And you have to make a booklet and you have to print out and you have to circulate the prospectus among them. So firstly, you can say that one. So it is going public is costly because there are some certain paperworks are there, such as making prospectus. Therefore, it should be printed and circulated with the guidance of the lawyer. Therefore, it's expensive process. That's only one certain aspect. And also moreover, there's another one, we can talk about another cost of the going public, like there are some certain charges are there to pay to the government, like taxes, brokerage fees, and there's underwriting fees are there for insurance companies you have to pay in case of a share market. The subscription is not fully subscribed your share issue. Some insurance companies have to purchase the remaining share. So there's another cost you have to pay. So another disadvantage or expensive of the going public is to pay for the underwriting fees in case of a shares are not fully subscribed. The insurance companies, you have to pay underwriting fees. Therefore, it is very costly and expensive for a business organization to go in public. Like that, there are so many, like mainly there are disadvantages are there going public. This everything I have given in my short note. So mainly if you go to short note for before the examination, you can find out all these things. Like mainly, I'll show you this one. Like mainly, I have already circulated this one. Short note, you can see business not activity and business influences. You can see chapter 1, business activity, goods and services, needs and wants, private sector definition, public sector, business stakeholders, internal stakeholders, external stakeholders. Now after we talk about the like business objective lesson, chapter 2, clear objectives, importance of having clear objective. There are past paper questions. Financial objective, 6 financial objectives, survival, right? Profit maximization. In this paper also we have a financial state 1 financial objective of IKEA, right? You have to state these questions are, that's why read these things. Non-financial objective, some other question, if you remember, like last paper we discussed, there's a paper 1, the state 1 non-financial objective of that case study. So social objective, personal satisfaction, challenge, independence and control. Qualities must have the smart qualities, smart objective we call, right? And these are the things like why changing business objective, mission statement, public sector objective. Chapter 3, sole traders, partnership and social enterprise franchise, entrepreneur roles, DO, decision making, innovating, organizing, risk taking, definition of incorporated and unincorporated, right? Limited liability, the meaning of limited liability is there. Even this question also we asked, what is the importance of limited liability? Where business owner is only liable for the original amount of invested in the business. And we talk about the unlimited liability definition, personally liable for the business debts. Sole trader, advantages, disadvantages. They have given table for this, right? Sole trader, 6 advantages and 6 disadvantages. In certain cases, you can use this knowledge. Partnership, a business owned by 2 to 20 people. Definition, advantages and disadvantages. So you can go through here also. Limited partnership concept, deed of partnership, benefits of having a deed of partnership, right? And franchise business, definition of franchise business, business where the business allow another operator called franchise to trade under their business name. Advantages to franchisee, disadvantages to franchise. There are relationship franchisor and franchisee. Franchise is the person, franchise is the person who gives the right to other operator to trade under their name. Franchise is the person who obtained the license. So by being a franchisee, advantages, disadvantages. By being a franchisor, what are the advantages, disadvantages, right? Just go through these short notes. You can see social enterprises we discussed, features of social enterprises, type of cooperatives, enterprises, worker cooperatives, charities, their fundraising methods. So everything in the first term is summarized in my handout short note like that. Limited companies, private limited, definition, advantages, disadvantages. Prospectus, going public. This is one I have to show you. This is one I need to show you today. Going public is expensive because of these things. I have summarized the main reasons. In this explain question, you have to take one point and you have to explain, right? So company to ensure that lawyers has to the prospectus legally correct. It's an expensive process. Why? You have to print it, circulate it, promote it. So therefore, it's a legally, it's an expensive process. And the bank has to, you have to pay the bank a processing fee. Ensure that the possibility of shares remaining unsold, because underwriting fees are there. Advertising administrative fees are there. And PLC must have minimum £50,000 share capital to be a PLC. So these things are the main reasons. Take one reason I have given in my short note, 6 reasons why going public is expensive. So they are asking only one reason in the examination. PLC, advantage, disadvantages. 2 documents need to register a company, MOA, AOA. What is Memorandum of Association? Contents of this. What is Articles of Association? Contents of it. And after registration, you are getting a certificate of incorporation, right? Talk about this. Multinational company, right? Important topic. You can see multinational features. We talk about everything. Multinational is a business, large business with significant production or service operation in at least 2 different countries. The definition of MNC. Features of MNC, right? And we talk about the public corporations. Public corporations, that's also an important lesson, right? Public corporations, features of public corporation. PLC, government-owned business organization. Why they need a reason for public corporation? So avoid wasteful duplication, maintain strategic industries, save your job, everything to fill the gaps left by the private sector, serve unprofitable region. We need public organization, government organization. And reason against the public ownership, go through this one. Drawbacks of disadvantage of being a public corporation. It's costly to government, inefficiency is there, political interference is there, difficult to control. We talk about the privatization concept. In privatization, we talk about forms of privatization, right? There are 4 forms of privatization. You can convert the public sector into private form in another by using 4 methods. Sale of public corporation, deregulation, contracting out, sale of land and property, right? If you haven't started yet, you are studying because you have about like another 1 more week for the examination. You can go through here and you can study for the examination, right? Reason for privatization. We talk about appropriate of different forms of business, like factors affecting the choice of business, right? Objectives and type of business organizations. Classification of business we discussed in the first lesson, right? Primary sector, secondary sector, tertiary sector, quaternary sector, right? Interdependence thing. Changes in sector, deindustrialization. Why manufacturing sector decline, right? Deindustrialization. Factors of production, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. Labor intensive, capital intensive definition. Right, decision on location we just discussed, but for the examination level, so we normally we are not going to test this part. Decision on business location, just go through because we are going to discuss that in our next term test. And trade blocks, everything we discussed, decision on locations. And chapter 10, very important, growth of multinational company, importance and growth of multinational companies. MNC, why MNCs are important for a developed country. Benefits of being a multinational. These questions were tested here in past paper. It's a large customer base. lower cost you can enjoy, high profile, you can brand image you can develop, you can avoid trade barriers, lower your tax expenses, right? And look at this one, advantage, disadvantages of MNCs to a host country, to a country or economy, right? These are things. You can increase the employment opportunities, tax revenue to the government, increase the export, transfer of technology, improvement in the human capital, enterprise development. In however points you can say disadvantages, environmental damage, environmental pollution caused by multinationals, exploitation of the less developed countries, repatriation of profit, lack of accountability, threat for the local infant businesses, cultural clashes. So these are the main things. So this is why normally in past paper, if you analyze, I think this question of this past paper, normally the 12 markers and 6 markers are comes from this topic. So therefore the tables and everything you have to go through, especially. And judging success and everything, these topics we haven't done yet. So we are doing this thing after the examination, judging success, reason for failure, everything. Just go through here up to that level, right? So okay, comes back to the paper. Going back to the paper now, you know mainly the why going public is expensive. There are 7 reasons I have given. So to pick one reason and explain why going public is expensive for the IKEA. Okay, so now we are going to the 12-mark question, the last question of this paper. In 2018, IKEA is planning to open its first 25 stores and invest 1.43 billion in India, right? So they have given some small another application line. In 2018, they were planning to open another 25 stores in India by investing 1.4 billion euro. It's a kind of a foreign direct investment. Evaluate the impact of IKEA's decision to India. So what they're trying to asking here in my short, and I have just explained you the benefits and drawbacks to economy. Right, this case they are asking advantage and disadvantage of multinationals to economy. So you can say the Indian market by operating 1.4 billion right investment, so government will what tax revenue will increase, and by operating 25 showrooms in India, they increase income and employment level of the workers. So Indian population will get more job opportunities, especially if one factory, imagine if you work let's say 100 workers in one factory, so 25 factories mean 2,500 workers you can give job opportunities, which leads to increase the Indian economy, leads to increase the Indian population, the standard of living by getting the work, getting that jobs and everything, job opportunities. So it will be more important for Indian government. This IKEA investment coming is 1.4 billion euro investment by opening 2018. And moreover, we can say the tax revenue obtained from the obtained by the IKEA for the Indian government. This tax revenue they can use, you can explain this point, the tax revenue, the government will be able to earn more tax revenue to the government. As a result of that, IKEA would be able to use that tax money for the development of the economy, and they can invest that money for the development of the rural areas, build up the infrastructure, the development of the road system, railway system, hospitals, schools, universities, you can say, right? So this you can use this tax money which is coming from the multinational companies, reinvested back to the society's development. And moreover, is increase the export part. Sometimes the IKEA would struggle to actually getting export market. They wanted to increase the exporting from India, because it's India is kind of like a low-cost country, like materials and everything you can easily find, like especially timber and labor. So raw materials and very easily access. So therefore, I think it will be very good for the Indian economy. For they can increase the export income by exporting this IKEA, like now modern furniture, like Western European furnitures from India to other countries. Transfer of technology also you can say, like it's a Sweden company, it's a technology coming from Sweden. It's a high income country to low income countries. Transfer of technology from HICs to LICs, you can say, that's one advantage. Moreover, you can say it's improvement in the quality of human capital. That you can say as Indian people, by working with the IKEA showrooms, by utilizing, by purchasing IKEA bedrooms and all office equipment and everything, which increase the quality of human capital. The lifestyle will be high, right? Enterprise development, supporting services, sometimes logistics services. The people who need IKEA will recruit other people, like they need the people who hire transport services. Sometimes they need food. Those factories worker need to eat, accommodation, right? Transport, logistics. Other enterprises also develop along with the IKEA, this 25, not only 25 factories, along with that direct and indirect jobs. You can talk very well. For 12 marker, what is the structure for 12 marker? We need to write the definition, 2 advantages and 2 disadvantages and the conclusion, right? 12 marker definition, 2 positives, 2 negatives, and the conclusion. So I'll explain that part again. When you're writing a 12 marker, what we expecting structure is we have to mainly focus on the definition. Define here. Definition. In this case, we have to define what is meant by the multinational firm. Definition of multinational, and then 2 benefits. 2 benefits to India. You can point out that with the benefit and with the application, we need like a 1 paragraph for that. 2 benefits to India, like you can say tax and the jobs. You can expand example. You can simply, before you write some answer, you can plan your answer like that. Right? You can talk about the job opportunity, and you can talk about the tax revenue to the government. Like simply, you can actually generally jot down like that the point that you're going to write in 12 marker. And 2 drawbacks. Disadvantages, right? So 2 disadvantaged economy, you can say they're causing sometimes pollution. Pollution, you can talk about what are the pollutions they are talking, like especially IKEA is using timber, so they will cut down trees. You can say sometimes they might pollute the environment. So cutting down trees, deforestation can be happen. Sometimes noise pollution. Talk about several pollution. So you can do it explain. So just a jot down. Like before you write a long answer, especially 9 markers and 12 marker. First of all, plan your answer. Highlight the sections and plan your answer. Another thing they can say sometimes they might exploit the labor. Right, exploit labor. So, and conclusion, exploitation means like overusing labor. Sometimes they are paying like a low salaries, giving them like a hard working conditions. So these things. And other one, we need conclusion. Conclusion para is you have to write about what are the solutions. Solutions to drawbacks. Right? For example, you can talk about like a government, right? Regulation. This is how you have to plan your answer. And you can see when you are writing this point, this is the main point. 4 paragraph 12 marker. Define MNC and 2 benefits to India. You can see creation of the job opportunities. Therefore, government of India will be they may be able to, people would get more job opportunities. They increase their living standards. People like a carpenter, drivers, storekeepers, like so many job opportunities coming directly and indirectly. Job opportunities are creating. As a result of that, people would get the income. They will increase their lifestyle. Their families will get more good living conditions as a result of that. Moreover, government, you can say tax revenue to the government. Indian government would get the tax revenue from IKEA at the end of the year. They can use this money for the development of their society, Indian infrastructure, schools, hospitals, and so many. However, point you can say in another paragraph, you can start, however, there are drawbacks coming from the IKEA, such as sometimes they might causing environmental pollution here. Since the IKEA furniture, they are manufacturing furniture items, they might need furniture from India. They will cut down trees from the Indian forest. As a result of that, there will be a timber problems, and there will be deforestation, global warming, noise pollution, and so many some problems will be affected, can be there as a result of that, can cause some environmental pollution in India. Moreover, they might be exploiting the labor, and there might be threat for the local infant businessmen. You can say moreover, sometimes exploiting labor, by sometimes they might hire some child labor, right? These things are there. Sometimes they are giving like a low wages for their workers. You can talk about that thing, example. More case, if you want someone more, you can write they might be giving some threat for the local furniture shops. Some Indian person, carpenter, start local furniture shop, there will be no demand for him next day. Why? These are foreign multinational companies there. So high competition will create the economy. Low is threat for the local infant businesses. And conclusion, you can say, right? And overall, you can see in conclusion, overall, multinational companies are advantages outweigh the disadvantages. This disadvantage, such as pollution and exploitation labor, can be controlled by using government regulation, such as environmental pollution law, environmental protection law, and the labor protection laws are there. The government should be there to save the environment and the labor by using right regulations against the IKEA. So moreover, therefore, Indian government is 1.43 billion euro is a good investment opportunity. So therefore, they should promote and allow the enter this IKEA into the the economy. Like that, you can give a nice conclusion, right? For 12 marker, we are giving marks for you. Like normally, we are expecting all the knowledge, and after that, knowledge 3 marks, application, right? 3 marks, and analysis 3 marks, evaluation, right? Evaluation 3 marks. So that's how we are giving level 3: knowledge, application, analysis, evaluation, assessment objective 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything you are mentioning. So if you don't mention the definition, you are losing marks. No conclusion, losing marks. Without writing 2 benefits, if you just write only 1 benefit, you are losing marks. This is structure. It's very easy. Definition, 2 positives, 2 negatives, and conclusion. For 9 marker, what's the difference is 9 marker, you don't need a definition, not need a conclusion. Just a 2 positives, 2 negatives. 9 marker, right? So 12 marker and 9 marker, only difference is the definition and conclusion. 12 marker, you have definition, conclusion, but 9 marker, you don't need a definition and the conclusion. Only 2 positives, 2 negatives of the selected option. And select one option and no. Right. So this paper, that's the end of this IKEA paper. I hope you understand, you enjoy the lesson. So this is the end of the 2018 paper. So in my next session, I'm going to talk about the next paper, 2019 and 2020 papers. I'm going to discuss in my next session, guys, in my next video. So join with me and then subscribe my channel, and you can watch more videos like that. So to revise these videos and you can better prepare for your examinations.